WWE are making a major creative change. We'll get into it in a second. Plus, backstage details on the White Rabbit storyline have been revealed, and a Raw star has made a return to NXT. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Triple H continues to sort of change the shape and the flavor of WWE.
Change the culture.
Change the culture, change the color in NXT's case.
Yes, we'll get onto that as well.
But there's one big signing that I think bodes very well for WWE's future.
This is really interesting, isn't it? And it's not a big wrestling free agent we may have heard of or an indie legend or anything like that. It's a man named Robert Fee who has written a number of Marvel comics and produced several shows for Disney and has basically been hired in a new position called Director of Long-Term Creative. Director of Long-Term Creative. There.
That is one of those titles that is
I nearly
really
stumbled. So they said,
isn't it?
Director of Long-Term Creative?
Yeah, because one thing that we always called for in Vince's era was, can we tell some longer stories rather than just sort of pop in a rating every week?
Director of Game of Thrones. That's what we've got. That's what we wanted, and we've got it. This is basically according to PW Insider, who've been told that under this new position, Mr. Fee, Robert Fee, would be responsible for overseeing that the company's long-term storytelling across all of the brands makes sense and maintains consistency for both WWE characters and the overall vision of the company. Apparently, he will be working under Bruce Pritchard. Now, we've had fantasy booking before. This is fantasy behind the scenes hiring.
It really is.
It's so good in a sensible way.
Now he's got his chops, I would say, working for Marvel, writing for Disney, but he's a big WWE and wrestling fan as well. I think on Twitter he mentioned that he got the role, and I think a few people tried a little gotcha by going, "What's your favorite match? What's your favorite moment?" I think he said his favorite match was Hogan Jarrett Bash at the Beach 2000.
Yeah.
And his favorite moment was Al Snow eating his dog. There we go. Which led to everybody going, fair play, welcome aboard. He's actually had a few dances with WWE before. Fightful Select telling us that Fee once pitched a Fiend Bray Wyatt related movie. It was said to have resonated very well with WWE higher-ups. Looked like it was going to get produced, and then Bray Wyatt got sacked, so it didn't. And now this is an interesting little caveat with regards to the White Rabbit storyline that we've seen that I'm going to tell you now. So the creative for this has been so different from everything else. And the common line has been that the storytelling for the White Rabbit stuff that we've seen, the QR codes, Samson Delilah, and all the imagery there, has been out of the hands of WWE Creative. That is kind of the case because Robert Fee has been with the WWE on the old QT for about a month now. Not in his official role as of yet, but he has been working behind the scenes closely with higher-ups and those involved in the actual payoff of the story of the White Rabbit story.
It's gonna. I mean, it bodes well for Robert Fee because if this is the first major thing they've gone, try a hand at that. See what you can do with that. I mean, it's gone down a storm. Apparently, it's been received very well backstage, and also you just need to go on social media to see the buzz that it's generated as well. And apparently, I'm sure we've seen several news sources report that that Triple H and co are really happy with how it's gone,
and they want more stuff like this going forward. I mean, I would err on the side of caution of that because, you know, like with shoot storylines, they have diminishing returns in wrestling. So you wouldn't want. I don't think I'd want to see like who's the mystery person? Scan this code. Like for a while now.
But different. You can do it. You can do similarly well thought out things in just a variety of different ways. It doesn't all have to be for a mystery reveal or a QR code. It doesn't all have to be in the same boat, I guess.
No, you can have some fun with it. And this being Robert Fee's first job to direct the flow and the ebb and some of the production of this White Rabbit storyline, I think is as you say, it's a great start.
Could it also confirm that the White Rabbit or the man behind these messages is indeed Bray Wyatt? I know that we all pretty much think that it is Bray Wyatt, but the fact that Robert Fee was involved in pitching this Fiend-related movie and now he's been put in charge of this,
I think if you needed any more pieces of the jigsaw to see that it's a goose.
That's not a fun clue though, is it? I'm sorry. That's not like, Google this town and there's a record store and they've uploaded a thing to their YouTube channel. This is more just like, the bloke who writes it did a Fiend thing. That's not as fun.
I think you scan the QR code on NXT and it just takes you to Jack going, the bloke who wrote the Fiend's film, he did it. It's Bray Wyatt, you know.
If we didn't have a busy day, Tom, I would want to flash flash up a QR code now in the video.
That'd be
and
a
it leads to me
brilliant
going,
idea.
the bloke who wrote
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Let's go to NXT from last night, and you may have noticed it looks slightly different.
The paint is over.
Paint splatter era is over.
It's finished. Not that it's popular. It's done by the looks of it.
The Art Attack had a heart attack. It's
Yes.
done.
The arena hasn't changed physically, Tom, but the white and gold logo is now very prominent with more gold tones across the arena lighting, and it was very much touted as a new era, another new era for NXT.
Yeah. Now, as well as the new look, the new feel, the sort of coloring theme, there was a 3-person announced team. Now, there was a reason behind this, behind Wade Barrett, Byron Saxton, and Sudu Shah being a triple threat on comms. Vic Joseph is on his honeymoon.
Yes, Wade Barrett says he was stuck at immigration, but that was a lie.
That was a cheeky little joke by Wade Barrett. So Byron Saxton stepping into the role for the time being. I presume when Vic is done with his honeymoon, he'll come back and Byron will return to Raw duties. But it looks like it might stay as a 3-man booth.
I never know what to think of 3-man booths. I should probably ask you that because you're a man who's done a 1-man booth and a 2-man booth. Have you ever done 3?
I've done a 3. I like a 1-man. I mean, I don't mind Joey Stylesing it on commentary. My rates are competitive. Please reach out. Myself and Matthew Gregg, who do commentary for North, I like that because we get a measure of each other. I think a 3-man booth, if you're clever, it's a pretty easy night at the office.
Yeah, right.
Because normally, I think there is some North commentary, which is myself, Matthew Gregg, and Amir Jordan.
Right.
We did one together as a triumvirate. And I did one for 3CW, with the owner of 3CW, and G-Man, who's the voice of Pro Wrestling Noah now, which is lovely to see.
Fantastic.
And it's kind of...
I miss him. He was a great guy.
He's a cool guy.
I just knew him behind the scenes in WCW. Just a great guy.
Great egg. And
Fantastic head of hair.
he looks fab, doesn't he? He looks fab. Please
And he's the
seek
voice
him
of
out.
Noah.
He's the voice of Noah. I think my favorite wrestling joke. Not that the company's a joke, but it's a Triple H joke that I make on the SmackDown.
Yeah.
I know it's fabulous and G-Man's ace. But for me, as the play-by-play guy, you kind of just sort of you'll ask one a question, ask another a question,
Right.
and then just kind of step back. So as long as you're not that desperate to always be heard, you can just kind of
Maybe they can make it work.
let them flow. And I think if the pacing's right, you can do a 3-man.
I do think, I think
3-person.
obviously Barrett's fantastic in the sort of heel color commentator role. Byron, I think, is really underrated sometimes.
Yeah.
And has just been buried by Corey for many years now. But no, they could make it work. They could.
On NXT last night, we had a representation from SmackDown. The Brawling Brutes rocking up to challenge Pretty Deadly for the NXT Tag Team title.
Yes.
Unsuccessfully so due to interference from Imperium.
Oh, dear me. It was interesting to see Imperium turn up because they are now SmackDown superstars.
Yeah,
but they were on NXT.
What are they doing here?
I guess to continue their rivalry heading into Extreme Rules, and the Brawling Brutes as well, of course. Interesting to see them there as well. I've just got thrown slightly because in our notes, Pretty Deadly are written as
pretty perfect. That was me. It
was also a great tag team name. However, you just rolled with it, and I realised now it's because you were ready for it because it was your mistake. But
I saw it about 33 seconds before and went, don't say perfect. Pretty Perfect could be a Paul Roma, Kurt Hennig team.
Yes,
from the 80s.
yes, absolutely.
That's a nice idea.
Of course, the match at Extreme Rules is, well, first of all, this Friday, Sheamus is going to be challenging Gunther again, I believe, for the IC title.
They're going to roll back that Cardiff Classic.
And a big match to live up to, a big rematch, sorry, to high bar is what I'm trying to say. But also then they've got that good old-fashioned Donnybrook. Yeah. Extreme Rules.
Love a Donnybrook.
Yes.
That'll happen at Extreme Rules. Also last night on NXT, we saw a Raw star coming everywhere. It's only flipping Veer Mahan.
Oh, Veer. He teased a reunion with former Indus tag team partner Sangha. He approached him backstage. They had a stare down. It's unclear at the moment whether they are going to team or they're going to have a big old Barney. But I think they'll probably end up teaming.
Big old kiss.
Or a big old kiss, yeah. Well, we've realised that Sanga's gimmick in NXT is just nice man currently. Tall and nice man. He's encouraging backstage to Valentina Ferros and Yulisa Leone. He says, don't worry, girls, you'll do it next time.
Ooh.
And he's just a nice, like, he offers people advice when they lose and stuff, despite not winning that often himself. He intimidates smaller bully heels. It's great.
Whereas Veer Mahan is
Veer's
there
a
going, the
nasty
gym
boy.
is closed.
Yeah.
Get out of the gym, you Silly boys.
You silly man.
So do you reckon that maybe the evil of Veer might try and poison the mind of Sanga?
If they pretended,
AKA Sting and Luger.
if they really pretended like this was a Rock Austin WrestleMania years of history, like my way or the highway, I would love it. But I feel like they might just next week turn up and be like, we're a tag team again, which I want the full video package and everything. But, no, I just really
Let's get Malcolm Buvins out of here. Bam,
Yeah.
he's not a factor. Oh, my way or
I
the
need to
highway.
be you, Veer.
You will get the absolute best of Sanga. Make that happen, you coward.
Yes, make it happen.
More wrestling news throughout your day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. You think it's special.